Woo! Hi, internets! Welcome back to our weekly live stream. My name is Alicia, and today we're going to talk about phrasal verbs for the office. Many of you have asked me to teach lessons about phrasal verbs, so today I'm going to do a lesson, and we're going to learn a lot of different phrasal verbs that you can use at work, at school, in meeting situations, in situations where you use a computer, whatever. So not just for work, not just for the office, but hopefully that you can use in a few different ways in your everyday life. So, as you join, please don't forget to like and share the video. Hit the thumbs up button and share so that other learners can find this week's lesson. Also, please make sure to send a message in the chat so we can say hello as you join. I see a few people on YouTube. Hey, hi Leah. Leah is at work. Yes, Leah, hi. Wellington, hello. Black Cow, hello. I see a few people on Facebook as well. Diana, hello. Maud and Nay. Great, Amanda on YouTube, hello there. Okay, a few people are coming. While we wait, as always, I have two announcements. One, I shared this picture a couple months ago, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, this is the culture video that we released on our YouTube channel, the English Class 101 YouTube channel, a couple months ago. And I mentioned in last week's live stream, the next one in this series will be out soon. So I'm excited to say, we're excited to say, the next video will be out tomorrow. So like maybe a little over 24 hours from this live stream. So please watch the next culture video on the English Class 101 YouTube channel and send us your comments in the comments section. We're really excited to share that. And version 3 will follow hopefully soon after. We don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that's announcement 1. Announcement number 2 is, I think, video version today. So regarding this thing, these free PDF lessons, many of you have asked us about how to download this. So this quick video is just showing you, if you log into the website, go to this page and scroll down to choose whichever PDF you want. Then you hit the download button. You'll find it just like this. So it'll look like this. You can save the file to your computer, to your iPhone, whatever. So if you want to get the free PDFs that we share in these lessons, this is how to do it. So please check that out to get all that stuff for free. I will show you some more later. Okay, that is everything for announcements. I see many people in the chat now. Great, hello everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. I see Marcelo and Joel and Christian and Jasmine and Elizabeth and Abdullah and Harrodson. Hello on YouTube. On Facebook, I see Jamal and Kong and Han and Ahmed and Prince Kais. Hello everybody. Marcella as well. Great, there are many people here. I'm going to share the video and then I am going to start the lesson. So, today's lesson I made, again as usual, in 3 parts. We're going to focus on vocabulary, like specific situation vocabulary for each part of today's lesson. So the first part, or the first group of phrasal verbs I want to look at for today is this. These are phrasal verbs you can use for everyday office activities. So yes, I have everyday office activities, but some of these you can use for other parts of your life too. So I'll mention those throughout the lesson. Let's get started. Okay, this is actually 2 different phrasal verbs. First is to clock in. To clock in. Second is to clock out. So to clock in and to clock out. Those are 2 separate phrasal verbs. To clock in. To clock in means to record your start time. To record your start time. So this means when you arrive at the office, you record when you begin work. So maybe you use some digital system to record when you start your office hours. That's called clocking in. We use the phrasal verb to clock in. So in a sentence, clock in when you get to the office. So clock in is right here. Clock in. This is like a rule or a command. So clock in when you get to the office. So the opposite then is this one, to clock out. To clock out. So maybe you can guess, to clock out means to record your end time, to record your end time, or to record the time you stop working, to clock out, to clock out. So in a sentence, clock out when you leave. So clock in when you get to the office, clock out when you leave, or clock out when you finish work. So clock in and clock out, a very basic office-related phrasal verb. Okay, let's move on to the next one then. The next one is to set up, to set up. Please note that for this phrasal verb, there is a space. There's a space between set and up. Set up, with no space, is a noun. To set up, that's a phrasal verb. So keep the space there when you're making this a verb. So to set up one's desk or workstation. So maybe you have a desk at your office or at your school, or maybe you have just kind of a workstation. Maybe it's not exactly a desk. You could use workstation too. So to set up means to prepare something. So like to get something ready. For example, let's set up workstations for the new staff. So let's set up workstations. We follow this set up with workstation or with desk. Like I need to set up my desk for the day. That's typically how we use this phrasal verb. Okay, Anatoly says, now I understand what was written on my work clock. Yeah, this probably clock in, clock out phrase is written on a lot of office clocks, I think. Okay, let's move on then to the next one. To skip out on, to skip out on. This is one that you can use in situations outside of the office. To skip out on means to not attend something on purpose. Like you decide, I don't have time for this meeting, or I said I would go to this event, but I decided not to go. So we use the expression to skip out on, to skip out on. This sounds rather casual, so we do not use this in formal situations, but you might use this with your colleagues, with your close coworkers, to skip out on, to skip out on. For example, I'm gonna skip out on the afternoon meeting today. I'm gonna skip out on the afternoon meeting today. So skip out on, and then what event did you choose not to attend? In this case, the afternoon meeting. I'm gonna skip out on the afternoon meeting today. Okay, onward then. We've got 3 more in this first group. So this one is to head out. To head out, you can use this in a lot of different cases, not just at the office, not just at work. To head out means to leave, to leave. So this has no relationship to your head, your physical head. So to head out means to leave. For example, it's late. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head out. So replace leave or maybe go with head out. Okay. A question, Angel says, is it correct to say, help me to set my desk up? Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So about this one here, to set up, yes, you can split that. So help me set my desk up is okay, that's all right. Okay, Kay on Facebook says, I always skip out on university classes. Really? That's not a good thing. Are you paying for those? Wow, I wonder. Okay, onward to next one. The next one here. This next one is super useful at work and at school. It is to hand in, to hand in. To hand in means to submit. So this expression comes from this motion. Like when you submit a report or you submit your homework, this is kind of the motion, yeah? Or before digital stuff, I guess. But we used this motion, so it's like your hand moved in towards another person. So we use the phrasal verb to hand in, to mean to submit something. For example, past tense, I handed in my report at the end of the day. I handed in my report. So what did you hand in? This is the thing that you handed in. I handed in, noun phrase. I handed in my report at the end of the day. Okay, Last one for this first group then is to call in. To call in, especially to call in sick. To call in sick. This expression, this phrasal verb means to contact your office or to contact your school to tell them you are not coming to work today because you're sick. Or to tell them you are sick, usually. For example, I have to call in sick today. I have to call in sick today. So this is like when we're at home, we pick up the phone and we call into the office is kind of the idea. Our communication goes into the office. That's sort of how you can imagine this. But we say call in sick, call in sick. We typically don't use another adjective here. We don't say I'm going to call in tired or I'm going to call in happy or something. We use I'm going to call in sick. This means I'm not coming to the office today because I am sick. Okay. Absek, hello there, on YouTube says, when we are about to leave the office in the evening, what should we say? Okay, you can say to your close colleagues, you can use this expression. I introduced this, I'm gonna head out. That one's rather casual. You can just say like, have a good evening as well. Like that's kind of polite, have a good evening. Okay, Olivia says, my kids hand in their homework to me. Is that correct? Yeah, that could be okay. My kids hand in is used like when you submit something like professionally, like formally. So if it's your kids, like your son or your daughter is giving you their homework, maybe a little different. I would use, I hand in my homework to my teacher, or I hand in my report to my boss. It sounds kind of official. Something like that. Okay. I don't know what that means. Okay. All right. Other things. I don't see any other questions. So I'm going to take a quick break and then we'll move on to the next part of today's lesson. So if you missed it earlier, I talked, as always, about the free things. Are we going to see that video again? Okay. All right, let me grab a physical copy so that we can see what we're actually looking at here. So I show you these every week. Why not both? I'll show you these every week. And lots of you have asked about how to download these. These are the free PDF lessons I show you every week. This is a quick video that's just introducing how to download these. So from our website, from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook, you go to that website you just saw scrolling and you can log in. If you do not have an account, you can make a free account and then choose the PDF that you are interested in and download that right away. So you can put that on your phone, your computer, whatever. So yes, there are tons of these. This one's like romance one. This is the one I wanted, the business one. So today I'm focusing on vocabulary words for the office. So this, hard to see. Hey, Instagram, you can see that too. So this is the, this is the business one. Very hard to see here, but you can find all of the phrases for a business meeting, some of which use some phrasal verbs. You can find this from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. Okay. I don't know why I said that way. All right, let's move along. Yes, this is live to all of you who always ask that question during the live stream. Let's continue on to part 2 of today's lesson. We're going to talk now about expressions or phrasal verbs rather for meetings. Phrasal verbs for meetings. So let's get to it. Also, if you're just joining, please make sure to like and share the video. We appreciate it so others can find it. Let's move along. Phrasal verbs for meetings. So, for meetings, there's a lot, or actually there are a few here, about making notes. So, the first phrasal verb, there are 2 kind of variations. There are 2 different expressions we use. First is to write down, and the other is to take down. So, to write down or to take down just means to write notes. Like, it has this feeling of just quickly like making just a small note. So you're not like writing an essay in the meeting, like you're quickly making small notes. So we use to write down or to take down to describe that. For example, he wrote down the details of the agreement. He wrote down the details of the agreement. So this is past tense, wrote down. So when we make a phrasal verb in past tense, we do still need to conjugate the verb there, just as we would regularly. So he wrote down the details of the agreement. With this one, he took down the details of the agreement. So again, quickly making notes. Quickly making notes is to take down. Yes, someone wrote to jot down the notes. Yeah, nice one. Let's add that here. To jot, J-O-T, to jot down notes means like just to quickly take notes again. Jot. So some people might like to use that. I don't really use jot that much, to jot down notes. I don't know. That sounds, I don't know, not my thing, but it's fine. Maybe it is kind of British Englishy. Okay, either way, you can use it if you like it. Let's go to the next one. The next one is kind of the opposite, you might think, to write up, So to write up is not exactly the opposite of to write down. To write up means like to prepare something by writing. Like for example, please write up a list of tasks. So this doesn't mean like quickly writing down. It also doesn't mean like writing an essay. It's like, please take some time to prepare something like for the meeting, or please take some time to prepare this information. So write up some details or write up a list of tasks. So it's not like notes and it's not like an essay. It's kind of in between. So please write up a simple agreement, or please write up a list. Something like that sounds quite natural. Okie dokie. Let's go to the next one, to speak up. To speak up. To speak up means to use your voice, of course, to speak, and to share your ideas or to share your opinion, especially in cases where maybe you don't usually share your opinion. So like for example, if you're usually kind of a quiet person and you decide to share your opinion in a meeting, you might say like, I'm going to speak up. Like you think to yourself, I'm going to speak up. Or if your coworker is a quiet person, you might say, wow, my coworker spoke up in the meeting. So to speak up means to share your opinion or to share your idea, especially in cases where you don't usually do that. For example, if you have an idea, please speak up. Please speak up. And some of you probably know speak up also means please speak more loudly too. So if I'm like speaking really quietly, you might say please speak up, which means please speak more loudly, like you're too quiet. So there are two different meanings for that phrasal verb. Depending on the situation, you can guess which one it is. All right, some questions. Elizabeth on YouTube says, sorry, could I say to write up a draft? Yeah, I think you could say like write up a draft of an agreement or like write up a draft of a contract. Yeah, I think that's fine. So to write something up sounds a little bit rough, like it's not the final version. So I think write up a draft is fine. Someone on Hill says, I think you missed listen up. Did I miss it or did I choose not to include it? Okay. On Facebook, Mohammed says write up means take notes. Yeah, write up is like you are creating a document, yes, but it's like the rough document. So write down is like just taking notes. It's not an essay, it's not a perfect like message, but to write up is like you're going to prepare something, like to give to someone else. So maybe it's like a proper message. Okay, I don't see anything others. All right, let's continue to this one. To fill someone in. To fill someone in. To fill someone in means to give someone an update. To give someone an update, usually a small update. And we often use fill in when we're requesting the update. So for example, if I'm your boss in this situation, I want an update from you, I might say, please fill us in about the project. Please fill me in about the project, or please fill me in about your studies. It means please update me. Give me a quick, short, small update about your activities or your project. So you'll notice fill in, you can split this one. So in this case, fill us in or fill me in is also okay to use. Fill me in, fill us in. Okay, onward then. The next one is to check in. To check in. Maybe you know this for like an airplane. So when you're flying, like to check in for your flight or to check into a hotel. To check in here means, again, to ask for an update, like to ask about progress, to ask about the status of a project is to check in. So, for example, I'd like to check in about our new program. I'd like to check in about our new program. You might also hear check in on someone. Check in on my father. So, like, I'd like to check in on my father. He's in the hospital, something like that. That also means to get a status update. When you use this, check in on someone, it means get a status update about that person's condition. To check in on someone. To check in about topic. So there are a couple of different ways to use this check in on or check in about. All right. Onward. Sinith on Facebook has follow up. Yeah, follow up is another nice one. I'll add it here. Follow up. To follow up is I usually use follow up when I send someone an email and I haven't heard a reply. There's no reply, but I expect it. I'll say, I'm writing to follow up on my last email. It means like check in after the last thing I sent you, to follow up. Okay, on to the next one. These two, these are kind of a pair. To talk up, to talk up and to talk down. To talk up and to talk down. So to talk up means to speak about someone and make them sound great. So like in this sentence, my manager talked up our team at the meeting. Past tense, our manager talked up who? Our team. So that means the manager is saying the team is so great. So the manager is talking about like the success of the team or the great skills on the team. So to talk someone up or to talk something, a team, to talk something up means to make it sound really, really good. On the other hand, to talk down to. To talk down to. Don't forget this preposition here. To talk down to means to speak to someone as if they are below you. So let's see. There's enough space here, I think. Let's imagine this is one person and this is the other person. Great drawing, Alicia. Okay, so it's like they're looking down on someone as they're talking. So to talk down to means to speak to someone like they are below you. They have a lower level than you. So maybe they're rude or they're mean, they're impolite. So this is to talk down to someone. For example, don't talk down to your colleagues. Don't talk down to your colleagues. So here, don't talk down to your colleagues. So talk up makes someone sound good. To talk down to means to speak to someone like they are below you. Very below you. Okay. Mohammed on Facebook says talk up means praise. Yeah, it kind of means praise. So you are praising them, yes, in order to improve someone else's opinion of that person. So in this sentence, my manager talked up our team. There's usually a reason, like we want to improve someone's opinion of us or of our team. Okay, a couple of points I saw. Okay, on YouTube, Ruben said, my boss talked up our team's skills. Good, okay. Let's see, there are a lot. I already used check-in to mean, hi, I am showing up. Yes, so as I said, check-in can be used at a hotel as well, to mean like, I have arrived, I am here. Other things. To talk down to means looks down on you. Yeah, it can be. It can mean to talk down to can mean to look down on someone, but to talk down to means like you're actually using your words. You're speaking to someone like they are below you. Okay, let's move on. You guys have some questions and I will try to get to them a bit later. I have a few more things to get to. So we'll take a quick break and then finish with the last point. So if you missed it, I talked a bit about the free PDFs we always have that you can find from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. Check those links wherever you're watching. If you're watching on Instagram, please check YouTube or Facebook to get the links for these. So this is the one I've been holding is the business English one. Of course, today's lesson is focused on office English, office-related vocabulary that you can use. But we have lots of other ones. I showed a couple of these earlier. This is like a shopping-related one. On the back of this is verbs for shopping actually too. So this is another popular one. We also have travel. Ta-da. So we're talking a little bit about travel related expressions. You can pick all of these up for free from the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook. Okay, let's go to the last part of today's lesson then. The last part of today's lesson is about computer tasks. Computer tasks. So things that you do on a computer or that are related to a computer. So if you're just joining, please don't forget to like and share the video so other people can find it. Okay, let's continue. So the first phrasal verb for this part is to send over. To send over. To send over just means send, yes, to send something. But we use this kind of casually. And we often use it with digital files. Like, please send over the photos when you have a chance. So please send over here. This just means send. Like, please send the photos when you have a chance. Send over sounds a little bit more casual, like we're a little bit closer. So you could use this with like a coworker or a colleague you're a little bit close to. Like, can you send over that file? It sounds a little bit more friendly than just send. Please send. Send sounds a little bit more stiff. Okay. The next one is to look into. To look into. This is a really good one for a lot of different situations, for any kind of planning. To look into means to research, to research. So to look into something means to find facts, to find information, to find data about something, to research something. For example, I'm looking into some upgrades for our equipment. I'm looking into some upgrades for our equipment. Here I'm using it in the progressive, looking into, which means I'm researching now. I'm researching some upgrades for our equipment. So looking into in progressive or look into regularly. We can use this like when making vacation plans, like I'm looking into summer vacation packages, or let's look into some place to go this weekend. So to look into means to research, to research. Okay, onward, running out of time. Oh my gosh, 3 left. Okay, the next one is a pair, to fill in or to fill out. To fill in or to fill out. These mean write. These mean to write like in a form. So when we need to enter our personal information, like our name, our birthday, our address, we use fill out. So especially when we are writing forms. For example, we filled out the shipping form. We filled out the shipping form means we entered our information into the shipping form, but we use filled out, filled out. Then, please fill in the form. Please fill in the form. So there's no difference between fill in and fill out in this case. You can use whichever you prefer, fill in or fill out. I would say perhaps in American English we use fill out a little more commonly. Maybe fill in is a little more common in British English. Okay, on to the last two. To plug in, very important, to plug in. To plug in means to connect something to electricity, to plug in your computer monitor, to plug in your iPad, to plug in your TV, to connect to electricity. So, I forgot to plug in my phone. I forgot to plug in my phone. A point here, the opposite is not to plug out. When you want to do the opposite, we use to unplug. To unplug, U-N-P-L-U-G. To unplug something means to remove a connection to electricity. So to plug in, to unplug something. So do not use plug out. That's not anything. Please use to unplug, to unplug. All right, final vocabulary word is to pull up, to pull up. This phrasal verb in a computer-related setting means to open a file on a screen. So for example, hey, can you pull up that PDF? Means like to open the file on the screen. So to pull up something means to open it so we can see it on the screen. So you might hear this in a meeting, or if your coworker comes to your desk and says something like, can you pull up the latest version of the poster? Can you pull up the latest version of the poster? It means, can you please open it on your screen so we can both see it? So to pull up is usually used when you need to reference, you need to look at something with someone else, to pull up. Okay, great, that is everything. So we'll wrap up there. I will finish there for today's lesson, but I hope that you found some new expressions that you can use, of course, at the office and in your everyday life as well. These are just a few phrasal verbs that you can use at work, but I hope it's a good start for you. So if you have questions, please send them in the chat. I will try to answer them somehow, so please do send them along. Okay, we have to finish up for today though, so I'll end today's lesson here. We will, of course, be back next week. Next week, the date will be July 10th? July 10th? Yeah, July 10th, yeah. Oh, calendars. Okay, July 10th, Wednesday, July 10th, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is New York City time. The topic will be your personal style, how to talk about your personal style. I'm going to try to include some slang in this lesson so we can talk about maybe style-related slang words, slang expressions, and so on. So please join us next week, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a personal style lesson. And check out the link below the video on YouTube or above the video on Facebook to get the free things that I showed you earlier. Some of you asked about this. You can download those from the link below the video or above the video. Okay, so we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much to everyone for joining us live this week. Thanks for all your questions, and thank you for liking and sharing the video. We really appreciate it. Enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you again next time. Bye-bye.